where am I going to get some value for my holiday if I want to take my pounds and go somewhere around the world? I mean, is there anywhere in your emerging universe where I can get a decent suntan and actually have a nice time and come back with money in my pocket?
Plenty of places to go, but I have to say, I mean, versus the sterling is going to be very difficult, we believe, to find appreciation over the medium term. We still believe that sterling has a lot of repricing to go through.
To the downside?
The downside. I mean, the last couple of days what we had, there's a little bit of a hiccup, but generally speaking, look, I mean, the macro will speak for itself. Like, it will be very difficult. The UK economy, it's not about the trade balance. It's about, or I mean, if you just put merchandise in that, it's about services. It's about the capital flow. And we remain very worried about capital flows in the UK over the next quarters. I mean, as we continue in this uncertain environment.
You say trade isn't an issue, but we're going to get another look at the first quarter GDP today. This will be the final reckoning. And the current account balance deficit is meant to come in at £30 billion sterling. We are relying on the kindness of strangers in this country.
Absolutely.
The government, or Mr. Osborne, who will be outgoing, we suspect, has talked about there will be spending cuts, there will be tax rises. If the government shows some intention of getting on top of this current account balance, doesn't that remove maybe some of the argument for selling the pound down here? I mean, on interest rate differentials, sterling is still a bit more attractive than being in the euro.
Yes, on interest rate differentials, yeah, but you need a lot of time for the macro to stabilize, right? I mean, we had just a small correction on the sterling here. It's just a small correction compared to what we can see in the first state of this transition in terms of budget. And Osborne just said that, I mean, there's no interim budget in sight now. So we are probably talking about a very late reaction here, at least when it comes to like fiscal. They will see the deterioration and they will react to that. And how many times we have seen this across the board? It's not only in the UK. So I do think the policy reaction, especially on the budget side, will be quite late. It might come, yes, I agree with you, because essentially we are shaving off GDP growth here for the next quarters going into 2018 possibly, until we find a little bit of a bottom. So, and going back to my concerns on the capital account, I mean, who's going to invest? Who is going to invest in this environment with such high uncertainty when it comes basically to the translation of capital? I mean, sterling versus euro, sterling versus, you know, the rest of EM. I think that the merchandise side is actually quite okay, because we're actually going to see a little bit of a boost given the sterling valuation. But let's be honest here. The UK stopped being a merchandise trade exporter back in 1975.